This video contains minor spoilers for Nintendo's latest masterpiece, Metroid Dread. It is recommended you play this game before viewing, if possible. Watcher beware. In the far reaches of the galaxy, a peculiar race of beings known as humans celebrate the evil in their society through sweets and cutesy decor. Unbeknownst to them, a lone warrior ceaselessly keeps their small, insignificant world safe from harm.
Well, that was a waste of time. Whoa! Oh God, what am I getting myself into? What do you even say in a situation like this? I guess it's time for a new Metroid game. And no, not the one you may be thinking. Like F-Zero, Metroid is another of those franchises Nintendo tends to needlessly neglect. But lo and behold, during 2021's E3,
that was the trailer for the first new 2D Metroid game in roughly 19 years.
So we've had remakes of Metroid 1 and 2, but haven't had an actual side-scrolling entry since Metroid Fusion, released on November 18th, 2002.
2002.
So I think it's time we cut the crap. Oh, was it worth the wait?
Yup.
Dread is beautiful. Its presentation is simplistic and clean, enveloped by a world jam-packed with detail. Playing at ZDR, breathe as you rummage through it, looking to rid the galaxy of the final X-Parasite, a hostile organism introduced in Metroid Fusion which mimics living organisms. Just take a moment to relax with Samus and I before we get into the plot. Unsurprisingly, Planet ZDR is a trap set to lure Samus in, with nigh-invincible killer robots named EMMI tracking her for around one-third the adventure. This is an evolution on Metroid Fusion's idea of playing Keep Away, placing Samus directly in harm's way, but in much larger environments with more variety. Each of these encounters is slightly unique, from EMMI capabilities to the very areas themselves having complicated traversal patterns. While potentially aggravating at first to many players, EMMI provide the game with a feature sorely lacking from previous entries:
Gameplay variety.
Our bounty hunter has more control over her actions than ever before. Movement is smooth as silk and only gets better as the game progresses with more unlocked upgrades, but one enemy remains steadfast. EMMI can't be eliminated unless Mother Brain, central units are defeated, allowing Samus to absorb their immense power, blasting them to bits. These are games in and of themselves, as players are made to find proper charging positions before delivering a finishing blow. Until then, they're to be avoided at all costs, meaning Dread essentially has minute stealth qualities. If caught, Samus has a tiny window of escape via button prompt that's achieved so rarely it usually stunned me more than the enemy. Wait. That worked? Right, I was supposed to run. Reminiscent of Metal Gear Solid 4, of all things. Dread's rather lengthy load screens feature Samus reflecting on her journey thus far in complete silence, aside from ambient noise. Like the EMMI before them, load screens also help in breaking up the fast-moving, action-heavy pace of Dread. It isn't until late game, when continuously hopping between areas, where this turns more into tedium than relaxation. A lot of everything else here is pretty typical Metroid, but refined into a powder you can snort. We have a few new power-ups, but the most impactful of these is the map. Yeah. Specific doors are clearly highlighted, question marks are used when the way forward is currently unattainable, multiple objective markers can be placed, and even paths taken through rooms are shown. We've come a long way from this. Oh boy. Dread follows its predecessor's footsteps in keeping gameplay fairly linear, but allowing random branching out to collect a few upgrades as you go along. Backtracking becomes a bit of a thing, but thankfully, world-altering events keep it fresh. The ability to do what's called sequence breaking, accessing areas or grabbing upgrades before they're technically meant to be, is not only possible, but encouraged? Kraid has a separate quick death for those who collect the Morph Ball Bomb earlier than intended. This foresight on Nintendo's part is absolutely legendary and cements the game further into my mind as not only a masterpiece, but an experience made truly for fans. But an eliminated X being invulnerable to absorption until its next pre-designated host is defeated.
What?
Metroid also continues the horribly awkward trend of its double jump only working when Samus is in a spinning motion. The game being far too picky with the execution of this caused me to take quite a few unnecessary hits during its multitude of intense battles. Speaking of which, how weird is it to have a side-scrolling Nintendo title that utilizes every single face button? There's actually so many buttons used, I found myself pressing incorrect combinations more times than I care to admit. What do you think, Ruthless Killer? How do I keep forgetting this? There's a few repeat boss battles, which is weak, but doesn't dampen the fun enough to where I feel it's necessary to speak further on it. Dread is probably a high 8 out of 10 game for me. But it being so long since an original entry bumps it up to a 9. Hard mode exists once an initial run is completed, but all this seems to do is increase damage received and not much else. No new enemy attack patterns, additional secrets, hidden bosses, or a bonus ending. I don't want anyone to think I'm ungrateful. In fact, I'm training Ruthless here how to speedrun it. No, you idiot! To use the grapple beam, you press R2, aim with the right stick, then the fire button. I swear to God, I will kill you. Whoa! Okay. Jeez. Just a figure of speech. Freak.